Going away, Cattery or cat sitter? If you're heading off on a holiday, here's your go-to guide and a checklist for what you need to know before you go away. Here's how to choose between a Cattery and a cat sitter, and either way to keep your cat stress-free as possible, and you too, because leaving your cat is very stressful. Let's have a look at the Cattery pros. Hopefully it will be a professional setup and all of the staff will be trained in first aid and they'll be really good at spotting any of those health issues. And it's a secure environment, so it prevents cats escaping. It often includes extras such as grooming, camera surveillance and check-ins. But now let's have a look at the Cattery cons. Cats are territorial by nature and it can be really stressful for them to go to a new environment, new smells, new sounds, and obviously being contained in a smaller area. And they may struggle if they don't like the smell, or they're not a sociable cat and they don't like the smells of other cats. And some Catteries also have kennels nearby, so they'll have the added noise of dogs barking too. So even if they're in separated houses from other cats, they're still going to be having them very, very close by and they'll be able to smell them and hear them. And it can be pricey, especially at peak times. Now, what about the cat sitter pros? Well, your cat gets to stay in its familiar home, familiar surroundings, same smells, same noises. It keeps your home looking lived in. If you've got a cat sitter that's popping in twice a day or even living in, they'll be able to take care of your post, your bins, your curtains, lights and so on. And hopefully they'll be able to adapt your routine to their new routine looking after your cat as well. So that's going to stay the same as well. Cats love predictability and a status quo routine being the same. So you can sit down with your cat sitter and you can literally go through all of your routine that you do with your cat every day, and they can adapt their routine to match yours, and that's going to keep your cat very happy. And of course, you're only paying for one visit, so whether you've got 2, 3, 4 cats, there'll be a price there that's going to be much cheaper than going to a Cattery. Generally, cats are a lot less stressed, even with a stranger coming in, but most cat sitters will do a free meet and greet where they can get to meet the cat, they can socialise with them, and they can see the home layout and where you keep everything. So the cat sitter cons, well, quality can vary and cheaper is not necessarily the best. You need to make sure that they have got all of the relevant qualifications and insurance, and they have been DBS checked. And then no 24/7 supervision is there if you're not opting for a live-in. So if your cat is free roaming, when your pet sitter goes, it may be that the cat's not there. And some cats can feel lonely and anxious when you go away on holiday. But whatever you decide, you have to decide what's best for your cat rather than what's best for you. If you've got a really stressy or anxious cat, then definitely I think I'd consider the pet sitter route. But then if you've got a really comfortable, laid back cat, then either is going to be fine. Now your holiday checklist, what do you need to do? You need to make sure that the microchip has been updated and it's currently up to date. Write down all your emergency contacts for the vet, where your cat sitter or your Cattery can get hold of you, and also a second point of contact as well. Leave the vet information and the routines all nicely written out, and there are actually tick forms on this that you can find online that you can leave out. Cats Protection do a fabulous one for pet sitters. Make sure if they're staying at home that you stock up with enough food, water, nappy bags, litter, kitchen roll, and leave all of these out on the side for your pet sitter. If you've got a food thief, then make sure you put the food and the treats away. Another thing that you can do, whether your cat's going into a Cattery or whether it's staying at home, you can sleep in a t-shirt for a couple of nights, bag it up into a freezer bag and do the same with another one, and then your Cattery owner or your pet sitter can bring this out every couple of days, and then that's a familiar scent of you that they can use in the home or the Cattery. Synthetic pheromone plugins are really good to plug in at home whilst you're away, or in any time really. They really do balance out and keep the status quo nice in the home. Also, phytotherapy, pet remedy wipes or spray can be great in the home when there's any potential stress. So what do you do when you go away? Have you used a Cattery or do you prefer a cat sitter? Vote for what you think's the best and tell me.